September 9th. Where have you been hiding, my dear diary? I have my daughter to thank for finding you again. I forgot to write, I know. And already, summer has almost gone. Had a stroke. Be back in about 20 minutes. Gotcha. I like this exercise of writing, opening myself to others. Even though nobody will read it, it gives me peace of mind. I feel that I exist. I also like to read things like this in the books that I carry to my watches. You never forget the thump, eh? A blow on the very heart. You remember it. You dream of it. You wake up at night and think of it. Years after. And go hot and cold all over. J. Conrad. I was the same age as my daughter when my father abandoned my mother and disappeared for good. I think that childhood event really affected me and stayed inside me just like a burn that will always leave a scar on your skin, although the wound is closed. A vivid memory of what it became when you abandon something. It's because you don't want it. I believe so. I will never be like him. I will never abandon those that I love. Between a father and son, there are big differences. Today I have a headache, sore bones, the cold weather has begun, and the mountain is getting ready for the new season. I also had a terrible migraine in the afternoon. What an obsession. I spent the whole day with numbers in my head. A 10 for here, a 16 for there, an infinite number of trees that I have counted in the forest. 3 foxes, 1 bear, 10 words said in all day, and 30 times that I've sat down to see the horizon with binoculars. 252 steps from the cabin to the road. 30 steps to go around the cabin. I don't know how many words there are in this diary, but there are many more words that are burning inside me. The words that I don't write. I'm afraid of closing my eyes and dreaming. I'm having this fear of everything coming back again. And the wind of the past hits my back. This loneliness doesn't seem enough. And nor is enough to write on this notebook now. Sometimes I also see what happened if I'm awake. 1 bear. Taffy. Take a drink. Oh, geez, that's a dog. Thanksgiving. Today was a day to remember. My wife made a great stew again. The whole family had dinner in silence. But it was a pleasant silence. It's not always necessary to fill the emptiness with words, right? Instead, Lydia was a bit sad for Nick. She says that he deserved better. Nick deserved better, and I think that we all deserve better. At least Nick's meat was tasty. Typical of kids, the way they insist on personifying the world around them and giving names to everything that they find. I had to break Nick's neck myself with my bare hands. It's not that I'm a coward, but I don't like killing animals with my hands. Even less so when it's got a humane name. In my job, sometimes I have to sacrifice animals that are sick or that pose the danger to others. I know that all deaths are the same, even if it was a turkey with the name of a used car dealer. It's not a dog, it's turkey. October 19th. They have sent a message warning the poachers. Ben Parker, an acquaintance of the town, made a phone call to the warden's office. It seems that he saw some hunters in a protected sector. Ben is a good guy. I think he's the only man in the town who I can talk to. I saw him in the mountain, and he's not one to look for trouble. He's often come to see me, and we talk about this and that. He's a man of the world and easy to get along with. On the way back, I came across a van parked on the side of the road. Two girls were on the shoulder, playing like little kids, playing and laughing. I've known those idiots for some time. They're always hanging around. The younger one, a tamed and chubby girl, couldn't stop smiling. She didn't say anything special, unlike the other one. They're far from Vancouver, and they were looking for plants that help to cure goodness knows what illness. I've warned them, the forest knows how to find its food. It's not safe for girls to go into the forest to pick flowers. Wild animals do their job, just like I do mine. When they were leaving, over the engine sound, I could still hear one of the girls laugh. I hate city people. Oh, looks like loneliness finally got a hold of him. My dreams are my reality. Dreams are my reality. I'm afraid of the night. 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 I'm a fur. December 5th, so he went about a month without writing. In spite of the migraine, I may still be able to forget everything and be only aware of the good things inside me. When my maternal grandmother, who was already over 80, died, the only person she had beside her was a nurse. The old woman lived alone and died alone. The girl said that before my grandmother died, she lifted her head up off of the pillow and looked from one side to the other as if she was trying to find someone. And then she lay her head down and died. There is no doubt that a void surrounds me, but I'm also sure that I haven't completely fallen into it. At times, I feel that if I lift up my head, I will be able to cross to the other side. December 12th. Lydia has all the imagination that her mother lacks. Shannon has been worried and angry for a few days. I can tell that she is upset with me. I know well that I have spent time outside. More than I should have. But in this season, with the chaos of the poachers and the hunting, I couldn't do more for her, nor for us. I know that, and I feel sorry. December 15th. Don't you like it, Randy? The mountain is beautiful. Merry Christmas. Happy 1986. January 14th. Yesterday I went back to Harry's Corner for the first time in a year. I don't like closed spaces. I was going only to have a beer with Ben and would leave after that, but he was late. The stuffy air of Harry's Corner and all those regulars analyzing each one of my gestures makes me very nervous. I don't know how these guys look at me. I don't like when they speak. I don't like their laughter. I can't hear what they say, but I'm sure that they're talking about me. Ben arrived. He brought some wrinkled clippings from the local newspaper. He remains concerned with the attacks in the forest. What does he want me to say? I can't do anything. But Ben stands his ground because the best we can do is organize for some people of the town to go out to the mountain and chase the bears. Taffies. He is sure that if we scare them off, the people from the city will return and that the business will return. I told him what I think. The carrion nourishes soil, and even though you can scare off some animals, new ones will come. If you pull out a fang today, a new one, a stronger one, will grow back tomorrow. Nature's like that, and the men who want to control it are like that. February 27th. There's a strange feeling of unrest in the forest. I'm getting it from the trees and animals. What the hell is happening in this world? altercations with the police in southern Poland. It seems like something serious is happening in Europe. But they're not saying anything. I think they're hiding the worst part. People say that the army is launching chemical agents over a little town. The people are mad furious. Several cops have died. But the government denies it. It's snowing again today. And the silence here is scary. March 1st, so quite some time. Since that strange dream I had, it seems like the world is awaking every day with a new revolution. Normally I don't pay too much attention to the news or television, but something serious is happening, that's for sure. Shannon is worried too. She wants us to go to the town to buy some food. Supplies, she says. She says that she's talked with some neighbors and they're getting prepared. There's been lots of tension that seemed forgotten in Europe. A wave of violence, a new world war. I already said that you can't trust those commies. A week has passed since the last time I wrote. I didn't really know quite what to say. They're talking about an infection. People are getting ill all around the world. They die easily. They're sacrificing animals. Europe is in quarantine and nobody knows what to do. There have already been some confirmed cases in the east coast of the USA. The Prime Minister says that there's nothing to be worried about, but nobody believes him. I forbade my wife from leaving the house. I will take care of everything. We had a meeting in the head office. One of the Mounties supervisors has come to visit us and given us some advice, plus information. It seems like it's a rabies epidemic, but the virus is mutated, he says. And like during any other epidemic, we need to take special precaution when dealing with wild animals. In some cases, the death and mutilations, like other problems in the forest, have stemmed from them. If a human is attacked, he will present the same symptoms almost immediately. We must raise an alarm about any sightings on the mountain. Welcome to Vapid Reads, Blighted Arrow. The wave of violence has spread beyond Europe. They say that the hospitals weren't ready for something like this, but what does something like this mean? What are they talking about? About an innocent rabies epidemic? No, I don't believe them. But the lies go further. People on this side of the ocean say that everything is under control. They're talking about taking more than 300 people. Nope. They're talking about more than 300 people being affected. But I don't really know if that word means the dead or the infected. Those bastard politicians, they keep lying. Today a plane crashed in the Gulf of Mexico. Nearly 150 people are missing. And is God considering doing anything? I am not a religious person, but I know that if any wild fox that I protect out there is stronger and fairer than the God that they pray to, I need to go back to the forest. Go back to the place where I am who I am, and where nothing worries me. I can stop reading now, Lucy. Keep reading. I'm with the chat. I'm with the majority vote here. I'll keep reading. We're halfway through. Lucy's like, no, please stop. Please stop, Edward. You're making me fall asleep. All right. We're at 37 of 38. I can continue later. The reading is good for my headache. Oh, lawyer, you just had to go say something. All right. Well, we just got to where everything is going down, so might as well. Nobody walks the streets alone. Everyone goes with somebody else. We can chew the fear like wasted chewing gum. That lasts forever. They broadcasted some images on TV. A man entered a bank without saying anything, attacked the workers and customers. He didn't take a single cent. When he went out, the police shot him, but he kept walking toward them without fear. Too much blood on the TV these days. Shannon, my wife, is very nervous, but she doesn't want Lydia to know. We keep her out of it. We've lost communication with the outside world. Yesterday I switched on the TV and they were broadcasting an emergency signal together with an irritating buzz. Also, those cowards in Ottawa are hiding. The radio isn't working either. We can't hear anything. Well, I lied. The local station is working, but they keep putting music on all day long. Nobody speaks. Nobody tells us anything. There's a heavy silence. Loads of blank pages. I haven't written anything for quite some time. Our town is overrun. I fought with Ben the other men. But our barricades were useless. There was no stopping them. When I got back to the house, Shannon and Lydia had gone just like everyone else. There had been a mass exodus from the town of Hope. Parker and I followed, and since then we haven't separated, even to answer the call of nature. We walked through the forest, fleeing the catastrophe, channeling our remorse, until we reached Vancouver. We thought that in a big city things would be better, that we'd find more people. How naive we were. Vancouver is unrecognizable. There's no food, no fuel, no hope. We ran away, taking shelter like animals, barely sleeping. There are hundreds of these things everywhere. Shadows. That's what they've called them since it started. Shadows that live in the darkness, that once had human form, that once belonged to men. Shadows of a life that has ended. Their sinister wails torment us night after night. I think of Shannon and Lydia every second. They're out there somewhere, frightened and on the run. Talk about looking for a needle in a haystack. I miss them so much. Today, Parker and I discovered a group of survivors. They had been hiding since the city collapsed, more than a month ago, like in Hope. They no longer have food and water. They're scared. They drift around the city's suburbs, and for a moment, they were about to kill Ben and me. The group is composed of 2 adult males and 2 women. They are armed. One of the men is a cop, so these are the people from the beginning. But he is very old. The other seems like he's never shot a gun in his life, so he looks like a university professor. Redhead, skinny, cannon fodder. The women are twins, young. They are a reflection of each other, it seems. They're not related to the men, but I don't know why the men have been protecting them for such a long time. The old man says that he heard a message from a radio from a crashed police car. The message talks about a city on the other side of the border. He wants us to go south. He already talks about us as if we're a group. He says, we must help each other, he says. Ben thinks that it's best to all go together, a group, a herd. Tomorrow we'll head to Seattle. There's talk of a safe point, a migration. Shannon, Lydia, they're somewhere on that road. I was so close to the end. 53 of 54. Aw, jeez. Surviving is not child's play, particularly when darkness falls. Nights repeat themselves and our travels never begin. We travel slowly, stealing fuel from abandoned cars. Sometimes we come across the shadows, other times we must confront them. You must shoot them in the head, that's all. This is the only advice that God gives us to survive this. His apocalypse of the dead that wake up and walk. That's a really long name. But if it's true that they're not alive, why do they need to feed on us? Now the nightmare doesn't end at sunrise. We woke up at dawn in an abandoned barn next to the survivor group from Seattle. Together with Ben. The twins are not sleeping this time. No, instead they're screaming. They were screaming outside. The university professor was outside for his watch. The university professor had been attacked while he was watching over us. A bite on his arm. He was bleeding. We had to clean up the area. Later, the redhead guy, the damn university professor, bled to death in front of us, and he stopped breathing. We all knew what was going to happen next. Every single one of us. I had to sacrifice him. Lydia, Shannon. Names that I can't forget. My head is divided into thousands of fragments, little pieces of smashed crystals, ground sugar, interrupted words, a puzzle that I can't solve anymore. There is no future. These are the days without any tomorrows. Damn, that's deep. When I was younger, I could remember everything. Things that happened, and things that did not happen. Now I have to look through these pages if I want to find my memory. We can see the city from far away, and everything we heard about it seems true. Seattle is a ghost city. You'll never find a place that's nice and peaceful because there isn't any. It didn't exist before, and even less so now. You can deceive yourself like this professor. You may think there is, but once you get there, when you're not looking, somebody'll sneak up and right fuck you? Really? Somebody will sneak up and right fuck you right under your nose. We've reached the end. The final page. Ah, jeez. One of the girls died today. Young Carla died in an abandoned warehouse, and I no longer feel anything for her. I don't even feel a tiny bit. Grief is something that disappears with death. More than 4 months have already gone by since the start of this bloody disease that has destroyed our little world. And right, fuck you. Oh, there was no quotation marks, were there? No. Everything that we knew in the world is gone. 4 months that changed the rules of nature and human beings. Also, 4 months without my wife and daughter. And it's hard to keep on going when 4 months seems like 4 years. Harder still to keep hope alive, doing my best to find them in the only place they could be. Today, even the young people die. And the thing that still puzzles me the most is that some keep living, or whatever they call the condition they're in. We're survivors of a fading world. Well, sometimes I doubt and wonder, are we alive or are we also dead? Two days have passed since we entered Seattle looking for our last chance. It's the 4th of July today, a special day for Americans' Independence Day, they say. The birthday of the nation. How stupid to think about births. No one will celebrate anything today. And there it is, the whole diary. Didn't really take that long. I thought it would take longer.